Nigeria as a country is blessed with a lot of natural and human resources. These resources are supposed to be of great benefit to its citizens. Join us, let's talk about the Nigeria we want on today's life. My name is Joyce Jakada. I have Prudence Bruka with me. Good morning, Prudence.
Good morning, Joyce.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay.
You look calm and collected. What's up?
That's just the feel this morning.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
We're going to talk about the Nigeria we want. Maybe it's going to change the feeling, you know. All right, we're live on Facebook and YouTube at Equa Television International. You can do well to drop your comments concerning the topic we're going to be talking about, the Nigeria we want. What Nigeria do you want? What Nigeria do you want to see? What is the image in your head that you want to see come to realization and actualization? Drop your comments on our official Facebook page at Equa Television International. Like the discussion now we have, especially among young people, is this nation must be great. And for this nation to be great, we are ready to participate in the process. Not just participate in the process, but to ensure that everything works out. Like I've heard a lot of young people tell you, see, this country does not belong to these few people though, in politics. They're busy rotating the thing among themselves and then at the detriment of majority of Nigerians. And no wonder the large turnout during the presidential election. Like it goes a long way to show that people are prepared, are ready to get it right this time around. Like the story of Jennifer, who was injured like by talks during the presidential election in Lagos. She was taken to the hospital. But after the plasters and all were put on her face, she came out to like cast her vote, and that's quite encouraging. If you ask me, very encouraging, and it just makes me think and then reflect. Oh, wow, there must be a picture in Jennifer's head of the Nigeria she wants, and Jennifer just thought that the only way she can get the nation she wants is by participating in this election and going to elect the right person. Many people will tell you that, oh, if good people fold their arms and then don't participate in the process, bad leaders will emerge. And when bad leaders emerge, they'll make terrible policies that will be at the people's detriment. And no wonder Jennifer's participation. Yeah. Prudence.
Yes, and it's interesting actually that a lot of people are fed up of where they are and they want to go forward. But for me, I begin to ask this question: where exactly are we fighting for? What influences who we are choosing to lead us? Those questions keep ringing in my head. See, I am of the opinion that the beginning of Nigeria's problem, or the problem that we are having right now, is the fact that a lot of us are still controlled by ethnic differences. See, we're not all thinking towards one Nigeria. Why everybody is complaining right now, in my opinion, why everybody is complaining right now and gearing towards looking for a better government is because at this point, it doesn't seem like anybody among the masses is gaining anything. But if one sect was gaining, you will not hear this kind of lot of complaints. That's how I feel about Nigerians. I feel like we've not really grown to the point that we're thinking of Nigeria as an entity. We're still thinking towards, I am Tangali, you are Buji, she is Mangu, he is Darok. That is Igbo. The other one is Efik. This one is Ijo. I feel like that's a whole lot of how we are thinking. Even during the election, the campaign and all that before the presidential election, you would hear people saying, "Oh, it's time for us to have an Igbo president." No, it's time for us to have a House of Fulani president. We're still thinking towards ethnicity, but if we want a better Nigeria, in Nigeria where unity is what is our stand and unity thrives, I think it's more important that we begin to work from the ground, the grassroots. We begin to work on how we are going to unify ourselves despite our ethnic ideologies, despite our cultures and traditions. It's what is important now in the fight that we are trying to fight for is Nigeria. So we should think Nigerians. not just
myself.
yeah.
And I think that's what this few elect or few people in politics they anchor on, like when they go out there to canvass for support, because they know how that people have based their ideas, their choice on ethnicity, tribalism, religion, and all of that. So when they go out to canvass for support, they use that to get your support. And then at the end of the day, we're not thinking Nigeria. We're not thinking of the bigger picture. We're not thinking humanity. We're not thinking of an environment that is conducive. We're not thinking of having a system where like equal justice is enjoyed by all. We're not thinking of a system where everybody can become somebody without the help of nobody. Like we're not thinking of a system where every child will have the right to education. We're not thinking of a system whereby health facility will be found everywhere. Like you don't have to run helter-skelter to different places because you're trying to have access to healthcare facility. Like we're not thinking of the bigger picture. We're not thinking humanity. We're just thinking of, oh, if it favors me, fine. If it doesn't favor me, then let's let the worst happen. And at the end of the day, when we get disappointed by the leaders that we elect on the basis of tribalism, ethnicity, or religion, we now start thinking, oh, this country is not working, this country cannot work. The best thing I would do is just to japa, like that's the common language.
That's the language now.
So after the presidential election, I saw a picture of a young lady that said, since people decided to vote for this party, me like this, I'm on my way out. And I was wondering, you think that system like became like that without anybody making it work? You can't even live in a system that works without you contributing to it.
Yeah, and I was going to say that those of us that have the mentality of going out because things are not working well here, we're forgetting something. Are you going to go and change your nationality when you reach that place that you're going to? So whatever image Nigeria has to reflect on you. When somebody sees you, like, oh, that's a Nigeria, oh, that's a country that is having this issue. That's the first thing that will come to their minds. They would just totally associate you with Nigeria because you are Nigerian. Like so they will treat you like that. So why don't we come back and join hands and build up the nation instead of trying to run away from the situation? I think that's a cowardly behavior personally. That's a personal opinion. Don't quote me on that, but that's just a personal
opinion. that moment that you say, oh, Joyce, I think I want to move. I would say, who will build the nation for you?
Okay, all right. I think if we can find a way that will work for us to make the system work, the rotting of our system, Nigeria, isn't just about those who are up there. They can't do it alone. They need our hands to help them do the work.
True.
So we, the masses, are contributing. You see, the other day we were, I don't remember, one of the episodes of Today's Life, we were talking about how some people just use stable jobs, government job, as a form of a way to just lazy about. That's another issue. When you are not faithful at your own post, you're expecting somebody who is up there to be faithful at his own post. When he knows that you're not serious about it, you just want a stable pay. So if it is a stable payment you want, and he can afford it, he will give it to you what you want. Or maybe he'll give you bits and pieces. Then he'll continue doing what he wants to do there. And then you continue to deteriorate and rotten. But nobody is saying that as an issue. Everybody just, anytime any issue is going on, everybody just says, the government is not a tomato seller. You go from the market to buy tomatoes. I mean, from the farm to the market, you buy tomatoes. And then tomorrow you will say, because dollars increase, the price of tomato is increasing. And you're trying to, where's the connection between dollar and tomato from the farmland? That's what I'm trying to say, is that we ourselves are not being just to ourselves at the lower level. I'm not saying that it's not important for them to raise prices, because sometimes, yes, if the dollar goes up, we would have issues with petroleum and all that, and transport, all that. We get that point. But my point is that sometimes these rise are overrated. We tend to use it as an opportunity to extort people. Yeah, thank you very much. So what we need to find a better Nigeria, we need to work on the grassroots. We start from the classroom. A student will go to class and not read nothing, and then you would enter exam hall and you just write from your notes because you're like literally copying it, cheating. You go for a WAEC and then you find that there are places that just give you answers. You just go copy it and submit and go your way. All those things are the factors that are leading us to have that kind of leaders that we are having up there.
Just think
and
about
we keep
that
on
person
complaining
that
about
copied in
it.
class during exam. At the end of the day, when he's like after his school go vie for a position and he wins, like because of the way that you had your way through illegal means, how do you expect that person to come and lead like in a competent way?
Exactly.
So the Nigeria we want cannot just happen to us. It takes deliberate effort, and it takes all of us like playing our part to make Nigeria work for us and even the future generations. Like when you trace some of the problems that we're facing as a country today, like you can trace it to as like way back.
Yes.
So it started somewhere. We didn't just wake up to the situation that we find ourselves, even though maybe at some eras, like the situation become worse, maybe another leader will come try to control it, another one will come because already constitutionally you can't stay in the office forever, like there's time limit. So while somebody is coming with the mindset to serve the people, to do things that are going to be beneficial to the people, another person will come, and because he's also elected by the people, he can decide that, okay, because I spend a lot of money, like so much in trying to get to this office, I want to like get my money back, and at the end of the day he does nothing. And that's how the system continues to deteriorate. As we speak right now, Prudence, over 20 million children are out of school. It didn't take one person to take them out of the classroom. Like,
it's a build-up.
You get, it's a build-up. And we have a role to play if we want these children to be back to the classroom. And I always talk about the fact that don't be so excited that you or your child is not part of the 20 million that are on the street. Because at the end of the day, your child that went to school outside the country or had the opportunity or privilege to go to the private university might not have a conducive environment to live. No wonder today you have so many rich people who cannot stay in their homes. Like they jump from one hotel to the other. Like political office holders, leaders that were supposed to come up with policies that would take these children back to the classroom. They continue to embezzle the money, and right now there are children that are done with the school, there are children that are working, that have the automatic employment, don't have like cannot walk freely on the streets. Kidnapping, banditry, Boko Haram, killings and all of that. It is those people that were denied the privilege to go to school. We allowed them on the street, and then the street trained them, recruited them, and now they become nuisance. You that went to the school, you have the job, cannot walk freely on the street. Like before now, we talk about how that, I don't even know how we got to that point. You can't even walk with your phone on your hand right now because of how the street have turned out to be. Before, when people make reference to the streets, they tell you the streets made us. Like they became like the person that they are today. They appreciate the streets. But today, when they talk about the streets, it's characterized by terrible attributes. And that is why we all must be deliberate. Don't think that because it doesn't affect you, you have relatives.
It affects.
We are all Nigerians. And that's why you talked about earlier that even if you think going outside the country, like you have the opportunity to just go out, remember that you have relatives here. Even if not your if you think you're not connected with your relative, it's just your life and your family. When you go there, you'll be treated as a Nigerian.
Yes.
Because they have an impression already about the system and how you operate. No wonder even when you get to the airport, the way in Nigeria will be searched, the way before you get your visa, like for some countries, it takes longer period. Because but for someone that is not in Nigeria, he might get it, for example, within a month. You that are in Nigeria, it will take you 4 months. because of the process of scrutiny based on the image they have about you.
Yes.
So we must put our hands together to ensure we get the Nigeria we want. What that system that you want to run to, have you thought of how the leaders and then the citizens were deliberate in ensuring that the system works?
Yeah.
I think it's a question we need to answer.
Very true. So we are supposed to take deliberate steps to do this kind of thing. So I was just thinking of how somebody who has a growth or a cancer growth in it, cancer begins very little, and its spread is so fast and wide. So it just spreads, and later you just find out that this person is just becoming an image of himself, no longer him again, and the disease is gradually eating him up, and then later on you just say, oh no, this person died of cancer. That's how the corruption and the bad character that is embedded in Nigeria is growing. It's fast spreading, and if we don't cut it out right now, it would kill us at the end of the day. But we are not. I'm not so sure if we are really ready to do that, because if we're really ready, we would go out and vote the right people from the grassroots. Yes, you might think that they don't have that much power. Maybe it's because we all don't get a full picture of, most of us don't get a full picture of how the government of Nigeria is run. But at their own post, if they are able to rectify, if the right people are there and they're able to rectify what is growing bad in that community, it can spread too. So what we need to do now is that we need to be involved in everything that is Nigeria. The politics from our community, I mean from the local government chairman to the State House of Assembly to the governors. No, let me start from the vigilante leaders, the youth leaders in the community, then the local government chairman, and then the State House of Assembly and the governors, and then the House of Assembly and all that. We've done the elections for the House of Assembly, for the Senate and House of Reps for the upper federal sects. Now we are talking about the state. We all need to come all out to pick out the right people, not because of sentiments. As I said earlier on, if we keep on building ourselves based on ethnicity, this is where I'm from, this is who this is who I am. I'm from Plateau State. No, I'm from Gombe State. We have all that. Then we'll have an issue.
And we are not even thinking of the beauty in our diversity.
Yes,
like,
it's a beautiful something. It is a beautiful thing. If we are able to make this system work, we will be one of a kind. Because we have over 200, and I keep on saying that. Saying over 250 is like we are diminishing the ethnic groups in Nigeria. We are way above that. I would read 300 plus personally, but my point is that we have a lot of diversity. You mentioned earlier in your introduction that we have human resources. The human resources in Nigeria is extreme. You find what a small child is doing at the corner, so lovely and beautiful, but there's nobody to build that person up to become someone greater that can help the country. No, instead, most of the time we're trying to kill that person, saying, oh no, you have to be a doctor. Those ideologies too are diminishing our country. So finding a country that we need or we want to see, it will be hard if we have not begun to work from the grassroots. What I'm trying to do now is to tell you out there that we need to start out from the grassroots. It's not all about those there in the politics. No, it's about we, the masses. It is about us. We need to start from our families. You know, family is like the smallest sect of the society. So we need to start from the families. If you build people from the families, then you build the nation.
And that's true. I totally agree with you. The Nigeria we want will start from the family. How diligent are you in performing your responsibility even from the house. Like when, as you're looking up to leaders at top, at the helm of affairs, you in your home, how diligent are you in living up to your responsibility as a father, as a mother, as a child? When you come to the community, what are you known for? Are you known to cause chaos in your immediate community, or to bring people together to ensure that you bring ideas that is going to aid development in your immediate community? Sometimes when we talk about election, we say, look at these leaders, check their antecedents, check their pedigrees, because there's no way, if from the family, as a father, you don't feed your children, coming to the community, you don't help or assist anybody. Like, you can't become a leader that will now look at the plight of the masses.
Yes.
You get?
Very
So
true.
in that political office that you held, how diligent were you? Like, are you that ghost worker? You get, that just want to become the president? We can't get the Nigeria we want with people like that. So it has to, like, there has to be deliberate effort. We can't sit down, fold our arms, and be doing the wrong thing and keep expecting that the Nigeria we want will just happen to us. Sometimes you see people even at the roadside, they park wrongly. People will see, like, they ignore the traffic signs. Like, you go to the market, you cheat people, like you extort people. Look at this more narrow redesign policy that came about. We saw how some people lost their life at the process. In fact, there was a story of a POS guy that was burnt, like was literally burnt because he extorted. I think that's the explanation from people. He overcharged 4,000 to 10,000, or 3,000 to 10,000. And we have so many people out there. Like, we are not justifying that the killing of that man. Like, there's no excuse for failure. It is wrong. It is not for any human to kill another human, because you can't give life to anybody. So from that, we like to take advantage of opportunities. When there are challenges such as this, people take up opportunity. People were literally buying money. Like, we've had stories of some that just go to the ATM machine and then just get lined at the, when it's their turn, they just sell their turn and then go back. Like, we can't get the Nigeria we want with such attitude. Like, you see people without integrity, you see some politicians without principle. You jump from here to there, you say a word, you don't keep to it. We have legislators without purpose. Legislators are just yes sir, like kind of people. You know that in Nigeria, for you to become Senate president, it will take like the majority of maybe people that are coming from a particular political party to put you there. And then at the end of the day, maybe when you have a situation where the Senate president and then the president are from the same party, or he has the support of that person, or the issue of godfatherism, they try to dance to their tune. He who pays the piper dictates the tune. That's what we see. You see legislators without purpose, and no wonder policies come about that are against anti-masses, and they can't say anything. We can't get the Nigeria we want if we fold our arms. For us to get the Nigeria we desire, we must participate in governance. And one of the key ways where we should start is through the election. Who are you voting for? On what basis are you voting for the person? Sometimes when I go to social media, like I see some posts, I see people support people, I just wonder, like, so because of your selfish and personal interest, you prefer that, like, for the next 4 years, people should just suffer? Because I see people supporting people not because of ideas, not because the people are visionary, not because they are capable and competent, but I see people promoting mediocrity. I see people promoting incompetence just because the person is their tribe, or because of some affiliation, or because of some promises. Oh, I'm going to make you PA, I'm going to make you this. And because of that selfish interest, you keep selling that candidate to the vulnerable, to the gullible. And at the end of the day, you think Nigeria can just become that image that you have in your head where everything will work. I tell people that when you go to the market, inflation does not ask for your tribe. It doesn't ask for your ethnic group, your religion, or what all of this. When there's like scarcity of fuel, for example, you go to the filling station, they ask you, which party did you vote for? What is your gender? No, it is targeted at male, it is targeted at female. Like, everybody will go through it. So can we start thinking of Nigeria? Can you stop thinking of your ethnic group? Can you stop thinking of that selfish interest and start thinking of Nigeria? Elect legislators that have purpose, people that have ideas and are visionaries, so that when they go there, even if their policies are anti-masses, they will fight it. Not people that will go there, sit down, they are just yes sir, yes sir. Anything that comes, they authenticate it and it goes. tomorrow they come back to you and you go back and still vote them. Like I saw people, like if you go to protests, if you've been following trends, you see that now the terrorists are no longer like physical. They are now on social media. Like we now have social media terrorists, people like making statement, propaganda, insulting people, fighting people, attacking people mentally, emotionally, and all of that, just because they are like trying to promote a particular candidate. So if you are not in support of this person, they fight you. And you ask, on what basis are you fighting for the person? And if the person is thinking of service, if it is about service, you don't have to fight anybody. You sell your candidate and sell the person's idea. You don't need to fight anybody. Is that the Nigeria we want?
And it's the nasty words for me, because those words can emotionally damage somebody. So you keep on telling this person, and it keeps on ringing in this person's head. You read like every feed you're having is just the same thing you're seeing. Over time, you can become depressed. Little wonder, after the elections, we heard of a story of a boy who hung himself. Why? Because he felt like Nigeria was not going to get any better. That's how disappointed he was about the election results. I'm not saying that was the right step. I'm just trying to say that's how extreme some people can go, because you've played with their emotions. And that's what we are doing in Nigeria. We're not considering humanity. We're not considering the nation. A lot of us are not patriots. Let's just be honest about it. Let's be blunt about that. A lot of us Nigerians are not patriots. We're patriotic to our culture. We're patriotic to even our states. Most of us are not patriotic to our state. We're patriotic to our tribe. Because you find in Nigeria, if you come to a state, for instance, in the Plateau, we have Buji, we have Tarok, we have... There are just a whole lot of them. But then you find that you hear Mango people tell you, no, we will not do this person because this person is from Biro. And it makes no sense that we do things like that. We're not supposed to vote for someone who is incompetent because he is my tribe. I can't see somebody suffering because of a decision that I made. And I knew that decision was wrong. My conscience is not going to leave me. But we continue to live like that, and your conscience is not pricking you. As a human being, for that, right now I'm not even talking as a Christian. I'm talking about human being. As a human being, you should have conscience. You should consider people's feelings when you're taking decisions. How are these decisions going to affect me? How are going to reflect me? Solomon Sabe said in one of the episodes that you are made for another person, and that person is made for you. So at that point, you are needed to be in a strategic position so that this person will get help from you. And I believe to an extent that is greatly true. I am supposed to vote for the right person so that my neighbor is going to enjoy it. Maybe that vote of mine is the reason why my neighbor is going to get an admission. Maybe that vote of mine is the reason why my neighbor's son is going to get a job. Maybe that vote of mine is the reason why Nigeria will turn out better. So why would I make the wrong choice when I go to vote? Those are some things that should continue to ring in our mind when we're going out to vote, especially as we're going out to vote for the gubernatorial elections. Do not be deterred in case you're disappointed by the results of the presidential election or how the elections turned out. Please, let's go out and vote for those that are closer to us.
We cannot just give up on the system like that. I know that things might not be working just like you expect or in your favor and all of that, but we can't just give up like that. It does not take just a day or an hour to build a nation or to build a house, you get. And we will not take away the fact that there are obstacles that might come your way, there are challenges that might be faced in the process. Think about it when you just give up on the way, or you are headed to work and then you just saw traffic and you just decide, oh, I'm not going again. No, that means you remain unemployed. So I think it is important for us to be deliberate. Like, the absence of information is what cripples us. But if you are well informed, especially about what is obtainable, then you can fight it. Like, as we speak prudence, we have a lot of rights, privileges, and opportunities that are being denied of the Nigerian citizens. No wonder we're talking about over 200 million children that are not in the classroom. They are out of school. Why are they out of school? Isn't that their fundamental human right for them to be educated?
It is.
Like, there are villages right now that as we speak, they are no longer in existence. They've gone to extinction. Why? Because people came there, killed the people that are there. Don't those people that were killed, don't they have right to live? They have the right to life. So when you start looking at it, all of these are right. Like, there are a lot of rights that have been trampled upon, privileges, opportunity. Like, how can a student be at home for over 8 months because of strike? Like, how can someone be sick in a nation where you go out and elect a leader, you can't have access to health facility? Why are we having dilapidated structures all over the country? What about our road? What is the state of the road? What about the transport system? Was it not in one of the rail stations in Nigeria that people were attacked? Like, we've had instances that people were kidnapped and even killed. Why is it that as we speak, some people are in the kidnappers' den? Don't they have the right to movement, the freedom of movement? So for us to get things working, we must all play active role in governance. Sometimes when you even elect people, they are not performing, you have the right to recall them. If somebody is in office for 4 years and is coming back for another 4 years, why are you voting the person? I'm so happy with some of the results I saw of the senatorial and House of Reps. Some people were voted out. Were literally voted out. No wonder we have the likes of even sitting governors like losing their beats even in their states.
True.
So they're like, Nigerians, I'm happy that we are awake, because it looks like we are sleeping. But if we want a nation that is going to be great, that will work, that other countries would look at and want to like imbibe, then we need to be deliberate. From the home, the community where you live, your organization, your offices, you must be true to that course. You can't be working in a place and, oh, you come to work late, you close at your will, you don't do what is expected of you, and you're pointing hand at the government. No, you don't have any moral right to point hand at anybody. So if we want this system to work, it begins with us. Not the change in code, but the change that's like the literal change, it begins with you. So how are we playing our own role? You go to a place, there are lines, all you try to do is just boycott things. You have just given, trusted with just an amount of money to go to the market, buy things that are beneficial to your organization. You go and cut it, use half of it, go and buy substandard product. We have buildings of government where contracts are awarded, but before they are being awarded, you and the contractor will be asked to give a certain percentage, and at the end of the day, he buys materials that are substandard, and the building will not even last 2, 3, 5 years. So we need to be true to the cause of building a great nation. Those systems that you're thinking about, those countries that you want to move to, if they were not deliberate about electing like the right leaders, then they won't have a system where everything is working. Today we complain of electricity, we complain of so many things. Why? You think if you elect the right people, you won't have all of this in place? We elect leaders on selfish basis, and no wonder we face all the things that we are facing. And just like one of our guests said on the choice, you can't just go to like, oh, I want to jump out to another country, and you think you want to go and enjoy what some people work so hard to build. It's either you're going there to contribute to their own system, or maybe you're going there for education, which at the end they will still benefit from you, because the revenue that is coming from your school fees is going to add to the growth of that nation. It's a system that works. It's not a system that is not working. So would you want to go to another country and be treated like with discrimination? If your system is not working, that is how you will also be treated. So we're not saying that, oh, if you have opportunity, oh, to go there, add value to other nation, you should decline it because you're waiting for your nation to work first.
I feel like that's an attack, but no problem.
No, I'm not attacking you. No one. Today we have a lot of Nigerian students studying outside
It's
the
true.
country, and some
Very
of them
true.
will finish the school,
And
come back home, and they want to add value. We've been talking about the fact that our doctors, like early last year, we saw how that so many doctors were just moving out of the country, and when they go out, they are great minds, like they are brains to be reckoned with. People talk about them, and it just baffles me that you still see some Nigerian politicians, they still go out there and they are being treated by same Nigerian doctors. So why can't we make our system work so we don't need to travel? Why can't we make our system work so that other people will come from other countries to come and come for treatment, come for relaxation? Why do we always take every opportunity and privilege just to embezzle and empower ourselves? Like sometimes I wonder if people think about the place of God. No, because on the last day, like, you will definitely give account of everything.
I think that the last day is too far.
It's too far, right?
Yes,
Okay.
just know that anybody after you die is still the same 6 feet. That they would still drop you. There's no difference.
And that
Maybe the
empty-
difference is the coffin that you're entering, but you still enter the ground. And that's the end of it. But nobody thinks about that when we are doing what we are doing. We just continue doing what we are doing because at that moment it's benefiting us. I think that the major problem Nigeria has is that majority of us are selfish. So is that we need to get rid of selfishness to be on track. But that's a hard one to do, getting rid of selfishness, because everybody wants it to be better for me. You're not looking at, oh, if things are better for my neighbor, I should be happy about it. No. So we're not even thinking of how we'll make it good to the extent that both myself and my neighbor are going to benefit from it. No, we're just looking out for how I'm going to benefit. See, there was an election, I think 2019 election, there were debates about 2015, 2019, there were debates of, no, if we vote this person, this group of people are going to enjoy it. So let's go and vote him because this group of people are because we are going to be at the receiving end of this government. Little wonder we find people in the country saying we are the ones that are ruling, so you don't have any right to tell us what to do and what not to do. Because all of us are working for me, not for us. I think we need to get to a point that we have a mindset of us, mindset of we, the nation, than for me, I, my brother and my sister. It's not all about us alone. It's about everybody. So you were saying that, yes, we can go out and contribute our quota to other people, but I think it becomes more worthwhile if we're contributing our quota to the nation instead. I was talking about how there are a whole lot of other resources. You mentioned earlier that there are natural and human resources. I spoke about the human resources, but the issue of natural resources, like Nigeria is full of natural resources that are not tapped. And even if they are tapped wrongly. We have minerals, solid minerals from the ground. We have crude. We have limestone. We have gold. All that, but they are not properly channeled right. Because those things, if properly channeled, would yield massively.
No wonder some people opine that our natural resources are more of a curse than a blessing.
Exactly.
But we can make it a
Yes,
blessing.
a blessing.
Why are some people of that school of thought? Because some few individuals decided to hoard it for their personal greed, like for some kind of reason, selfish reasons. And because if you as a country are blessed with natural resources, then you should think of utilizing it.
Exactly.
Like, these are things that other climes are looking for. These are wealth. You get, some people will tell you we have enough for everybody's need. It's just the greed of few individuals that have kept us in like where we are.
Exactly.
We're at a time of peril, not because we don't have what it takes to be a great nation, but some few like that are less than 10% decide to make life so difficult and miserable for people. And my problem is that we don't learn lesson from some of these things. You go out there, you elect people on the basis of nepotism, tribalism, and all of this. They disappoint you. Next election will come, they will still come deceive you, and you just forget. Like, we forget things so easily. Like, we just forget everything, and then we go back to the same page again.
Yeah, so we're running the same
suffering
circle.
continue, and they'll tell you that, we have found ourselves in such situation. What will we do? But there's something we can do. How is it that other system is working and our own cannot work? You get, there's something we can do if we're blessed with natural and human resources. See, we have great minds. Look at our doctors. Look at how good they are outside. Like, I was talking about the fact that even if you go out there, it's just for you to contribute to the system. Now, you have to contribute to the system. Now, it's not like those people don't want to contribute to the system here. How many times have doctors gone on strike? Have their demands been met? How about ASU? How long have this strike lingered? Have the demand been met? Like, how did we see even the federal government handling the issue? You get, so imagine you have a lot to give, and then the environment is still not enabling. We have young people with great skills that if they just have an opportunity to go outside of this country, they will be celebrated. The likes of Dan Malo, Jerry Malo, somewhere in Bokos that came up with the sport car. Like, these are great minds. Like, if you see the skills of Nigerians, some of these young people, the environment is light that for them, that will help them in achieving, actualizing some of these. They are still not available. Insecurity and all of that. But we can. Like, I still believe in this country. We don't have any country than Nigeria, you get. So how can we get the Nigeria we want? We need to be deliberate in contributing our quota to having good governance. When we do our part, when we play our part, like, at the end of the day, we have good leaders emerging, and those good leaders will come up with policies that are going to work for the masses. When you ask me, what is the Nigeria you want? I want a nation where equal justice will be enjoyed by all. I want a nation where the law is going to work, not for some people or against some people, but will work for all. I want peace, an environment that is peaceful. I want a Nigeria where people can sleep with their two eyes closed. I want a system where children will not be on the street, but they will be in classroom. I want a Nigeria where leaders will be filled with integrity. Leaders are going to be models to young generation. I think I want a Nigeria where is corruption free, that people will not think of a embezzling, but they will think of service to the people. I want a nation where legislators will be purposeful, they will be productive, they will think of the people, they will not think about, it won't be about position. Just after the presidential election and the National Assembly election, we already saw that some people are already eyeing the senatorial, the Senate president seat. How many of these people have you seen saying, okay, now that, I'm Senate elect, this is what I'm going to do for the people, coming up with like guidelines or lineups of things that they want to work on achieving for the benefit of the people. But people are already eyeing the third position in the country, and they will do everything they can. So you begin to wonder, is it about self or just about service to the people? If it is about service to the people, then I don't think people should kill themselves because of the position, because I'm here to serve. And then if the people think that yes, I should go, fine. If they think no, it's not your turn, then fine. So we need to have a system that even elections are going to be peaceful, free, fair and credible. That the electioneering process is going to be transparent, that when people win, they win excellently. When people lose, they go honorably. Not a system that is not transparent, that we keep seeing people going to court. You get, because this process was not duly followed. Like the current election, the past election, presidential election that has come and gone. As it is now, even Chatham House are saying that INEC went against its guidelines. The international world, like the world is looking at Nigerians. Are we a joke or what? Are we practicing democracy or we're demonstrating craze? I think that's the question on the mind of people, because you can't have a law be going against it. The same law you assented to, the same law you came up with, and the same
And then
you
you're not
going against
following it.
the law. So I think we need to be deliberate about getting that Nigeria where better education for the Nigerian child is going to be enjoyed.
Yes.
In Nigeria, we want is the one that will have impartial INEC, impartial judiciary. We will have legislators that I keep emphasizing that will make laws that are going to be for the benefit of the people. We are going to be having the security people not using the equipment against Nigerians, but like using it to fight crimes.
I think that we really have gone wrong. Where is the security in Nigeria that was being sent out to help other countries to resurrect themselves? Where is that security? We're not having it right now. So there's a problem somewhere, and we need to rectify it from the grassroots, as I mentioned earlier on. You were given a list of the kind of Nigeria you want to see, and I was like, oh, I think my own sounds so unrealistic at this moment, but I'm looking forward to a Nigeria where I would easily use the internet without complaining, oh, I don't have network. I need a Nigeria that everything works smoothly. I need a Nigeria that I will go to an ATM and I'll not meet a queue. I need a Nigeria that I will enter the bank and my requests are being met at the time that I need it. And the customer care gives me attention as quick as possible. I need a Nigeria that I will not have to wait in long queues for currency. I need a Nigeria that no child will be out of school because you cannot pay. I need a Nigeria that no youth will be back at home because of ASU strike. I need a Nigeria that no youth would at 29 be said, I would not give you this job because you have no years of experience. That's the kind of Nigeria I foresee. And that is not possible if we are not doing our duties right. We need to do our duties right, especially going out to vote for the right candidate. See, I know that people are disappointed, and some people are saying, oh, I'm not seeing anybody that I want to vote for. Oh, you people are not telling us who to vote. I actually heard that, and it was funny to me because I don't think you should be waiting for somebody to tell you this is who we are voting for, let's go and vote. I think it's important that we find out for ourselves who to vote for. But regardless of that, I need a Nigeria where when you see credibility, you run towards credibility. When you see equity, you run towards equity. And I need a Nigeria that the people can trust the judgments that comes from the courts.
Indeed. A safe and workable Nigeria is what we all want. We want a secured nation. We want a healthy nation.
True.
We want a nation where equal justice, peace, unity is going to be attained. And I think when we have that, all our dreams, all our aspirations are going to be achieved. Nigeria is a great nation, no doubt, and we must attain that height. Thank you so much, Prudence, for doing this with me. Our time is actually fast spent, and we need to draw our curtain. But then, to our viewers out there, thank you so much for doing this with us. Don't forget, Nigeria is the only country we have, and we must get things working by actively participating in the process. If Nigeria as a country is blessed with natural and human resources, these resources must be to the benefit of the citizens, and the Nigerian project is our collective responsibility. Nigeria does not belong to a select few in the country or in politics. The country belongs to every one of us, and we must have a part to play. We all have a part to play to making Nigeria work for us and the future generation. Thank you for believing in us and always doing this with us. Until we come your way, same time tomorrow. You have a great day. Bye-bye.